Leslie, and this is the New Lenox Public Library webpage. Welcome today as you come to practice. We are going to go through a yoga practice. This is a great practice for beginners. If you're just starting out, it's always a wonderful idea to kind of get your feeling for yoga in the comfort of your own home. And this is also a great practice. I'll put in a few modifications for those of you who might also enjoy a little bit of a challenge. So to begin with, I would like to have you gather a few props for your practice today. If you have a yoga mat, go ahead, grab that and set it out. I will be mirroring you as I do the practice. And so you will use the same arm that you will see me use in the video. If you have any yoga blocks, feel free to grab those. Now, by all means, if you don't have any of these props, you don't need them. All you need is a quiet space and a floor that is open and an area that is not full of distractions. So if you do have blocks, go ahead and grab a couple of these. However, if you do not have blocks, you can use any of your hardbound books. I happen to have a couple of books that are solid. They're about the same size here as my brick, so this works just as well as your yoga brick. Also, feel free to find that scarf or tie or bathrobe belt, whatever, that you haven't been able to use for the last few weeks, and get that out. This is just going to be another tool in our practice to add an extension to your arms and legs. And finally, the last thing that you need to collect is a nice cozy blanket. Go ahead and fold it so it's a nice big rectangle, and then proceed to fold the blanket, rolling it up so it is in a spiral form. I'm going to give you just a moment. You can push pause on your screen and go ahead and grab those props, and when you come back, I will be here waiting for you. Welcome back. Now that you have all of your props, let's go ahead and begin to get settled into your space. I invite you to come into an easy seated pose. It doesn't matter which leg is in front. Just simply bring yourself here and now into this space. And as you begin to set yourself up, either place both books to one side or your block to one side. If you don't have either, that's perfectly fine as well. Find a nice long tall spine. Draw the shoulders up towards the ears, roll them down your back, bring the spine nice and tall, and close into your eyes. So as we begin our practice today, I invite you to come into a sense of peace and stillness, free of distraction. It's just simply you, your mat, your props, your mind, and your body. So begin to close into those eyes. Allow yourself to settle, to sink into the space where you're at. Allow yourself to let go. And start to swallow into the throat a few times, clearing away anything that is stuck there, allergies, anything left over that was said, that was not said. Allow it to be cleared away. Just clear that throat. Continue to keep your eyes closed, just to begin to draw focus deeper within. Allow your jaw to be relaxed and loose. The teeth are slightly separated. Continue to draw up from your tailbone all the way through the crown of your head, leveling your chin off with the horizon that you find within your practice. Allow yourself to be brave, courageous, And start to create that as your mantra or any other phrase that might come into your mind today. This is simply a suggestion by starting with the words I am on your breath in. And whatever you choose your mantra to be, whether it's brave, courageous, generous, let that be your words on your exhale. I am brave or courageous, generous. The first word that comes to your mind is always the one that is meant to be. I am. And on your exhale, find that word. And once you've found that mantra, we're going to start to bring the breath in to your body, bringing it into your lower rib cage, your mid rib cage, and your upper rib cage. Follow the breath as it expands, and then follow it as you exhale. So we're coming in for a count of 4, following your breath, really drawing it up from your navel through your rib cage, pausing at the top, and then follow the exhale for a count of 4. And I'll talk you through it. And remember, once you start to feel comfortable with this breath and this flow, start to add that mantra. Take a deep breath in into your lower ribs, your mid ribs, your upper ribs, and holding at the top for 4. Exhaling for 4, upper, mid, and lower, back to 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, pausing at the top. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1, pausing at the bottom. Remember, really focus on the feeling, the sensation of your rib cage expanding and contracting. 2 more times and I'll count you through it. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now your eyes to open. As we begin our practice, placing your left hand down on the floor. Remember, I'm mirroring you, so your left hand comes down on the floor, onto the bricks, the floor, or your books. Inhale, lifting your opposite arm up towards the sky. Reach up towards the sky. Let the shoulder come up to the ear just for a minute, and then plug that shoulder back down, dropping it down, drawing your shoulder blades back in. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, start to lean over towards the left. Deep breath here. Full exhale. One more inhale. And full exhale. Coming back into center, draw the arms up towards the sky and hinging towards the other side. Bringing your other hand down to the floor, lift your arm up and exhale to the side. And my cat has decided to join us. This is Juniper. It's actually my daughter's cat. She's very curious. Inhale, lift both arms up to the sky. Reach up and exhale. Draw the shoulder blades down. Draw your belly in. Start to walk your arms out into a wide V. Turn the palms out and then go ahead and turn them back in. Turn the palms out. She has just jumped on the camera. We'll see if it holds. And turn them back in. Oh, and there goes her tail. Sorry, guys. Always some excitement here. Now, as you turn your palms out, notice what happens to those shoulders and push with the hands away. And then draw them back in Drop your shoulder blades down, draw the belly in, and start to pull those shoulder muscles forward and back. Really lengthen and tighten into the back of your shoulder blades. Let them expand, let them contract, see what you're feeling. Push open with the fingertips. And take note of this feeling in the upper back. I'm going to draw this feeling into our down dog today. So just feeling with your upper back. Exhale, bring the hands down. Draw your chin towards the chest. Inhale, lift the chest up high. And come back to center. Bring your right ear towards the right shoulder. Back to center. And your opposite ear to the other shoulder. And come back to center. Moving away any props that you have. Bring yourself into an all fours position. Everything's stacked on top of each other. So bring your wrist, your elbow, and your shoulder on top of one another. Draw those hands right underneath your shoulders. Draw the belly in, the knees underneath your hips. Nice and tight through the belly. Lengthen out through the crown of the head. Inhale, let the chest lengthen, the belly drop, the tailbone lift. So we're rotating from your pelvis, from your pelvis area. Inhale, round into your back, glancing at your knees. If you can see your toes, go ahead and hide them. So you want to not see your toes. Bring them right directly behind your knees. Inhale, lift, lengthen through the crown of the head. Avoid lifting the chin and crinking up the neck. You want to lengthen out the crown of the head, moving forward and moving back at the same time. Round into the back. Draw the belly in. And inhale, lengthen, bringing the head forward. The chin is slightly lifted. Still a nice opening in the back of that neck. Take that through 3 more times. Round into your back. Chin towards chest. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, round. Draw the belly in. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, round. Continue to work your breath. 4 breaths in and 4 breaths out. Finding that movement versus 4 breaths as in a count of 4 in and a count of 4 out. One more time. Coming forward. And then rounding into the back. Bring yourself back into that neutral spine. Draw your belly in. Place your right hand directly underneath that shoulder. And you're going to lift the left arm up towards the sky, opening from the chest. So open from the belly, from the chest. Lengthen your arm forward. Push down into the floor through those finger pads. Open, open, open. And as you exhale, bend your elbow, threading it through and under to the outside. Bringing your left cheek down to the floor and your right arm extended up and over you. Continue to lengthen the right arm forward. If you'd like to add on, feel free to bind your top arm behind you. Open up into the chest. Follow your breath. For those of you that would like to take it just a little bit further, if you've been practicing for a while, feel free to lengthen out your right leg to the side. Avoid dumping into the neck or the shoulder. If this causes pain, please come back to the original position. Bringing your knees back in. Place your right hand underneath your shoulder and lift up and open to the side, pausing for just a moment and come back into center. Taking that to the other side. Extending your other arm up and open to the side, pausing for just a moment. Exhale, bending your arm under and threading it through. Dropping your shoulder down to the floor, cheek down, arm over. Taking this to the opposite side that you were just on. And follow your breath. And once again, if you feel comfortable here and you'd like to bind your top arm, bring it behind, open the shoulder. Pausing for just a moment. Either stay here or you can extend your leg out to the side. And once again, being in the moment, being present is what our practice is about today. Finding courage and bravery to try something new. Left arm comes up, hand comes down, leg comes in. Bring your right arm under and take 2 cat-cows around into your back. Inhale, lift. Round into your back. And inhale, lift. Draw your toes together and your knees apart as you send your sits bones back. Start to walk your hands forward. Now this is where it comes in handy if you do have your blanket. Allow yourself, your chest to roll forward on to that blanket. Bring your cheek down, doesn't matter which one. And find yourself here just for a moment of respite. Close into those eyes. Allow your breath to be steady and fluid. Finding yourself here in a place of release. Begin to walk your hands back up. Set your blanket off to the side. Place those hands back on the floor, curling your toes under. Bring your knees back just an inch or so, your hands forward just an inch or so as we begin to set ourselves up for down dog. Fingertips are facing forward. Make sure you spread those fingers nice and wide. Remember at the beginning how we rolled our shoulders. This is the option, or this is the moment, the movement that you feel when you get into your down dog. Start to push down into the floor. Lift your sits bones up. Keep your knees bent to begin. Push down into the floor with your hands, with those fingertips, not the palm or the wrist, but those fingertips. Start to push yourself back. Let your belly come onto your thighs. Start to walk the feet back if they need it. And then begin to walk into your ankles and your knees, bending one and the other. Follow your breath. 4 in, 4 out. Then come into some stillness here. The heels do not have to touch the floor, that's fine. Knees can be slightly bent. Push down into the floor with your fingertips, the pads of your fingers. If it's there for you, you can lengthen out those knees. Start to draw your shoulder blades in, or hollow out your armpits is another way to think of it. The arms curl around, broaden in the back. Fingertips are pushing down. Deep breath in. Lift up the heels, lower the knees. We're just going to come into a hovering position here. Hover the knees off the floor. Belly's drawn in. You always have the option to come all the way down to the floor on your knees into a cat-cow position. Those are your options today. Deep breath wherever you're at. If you're in your hover, draw that belly in. If you're down on the floor, you're still pushing down into the floor. The crown of the head is reaching forward. Your tailbone is reaching back and your belly is drawn in. Inhale, lift up all the way back to the top. Take your dog for a walk, which we've been doing a lot of, I'm sure. I know I have. He's really enjoying that. Lengthen through the arms, roll and hollow out those armpits. Inhale, exhale, come into your hover again. Breathe. Pausing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have 2 more of those. Exhale, lift the hips up and back. Remember, if it gets to be too much, you can always come down to those knees. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, hinge into the knees. Pausing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push down into the floor. Lift the hips and the heels. 1 more. We've got this. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, hover your knees. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. And start to walk your hands back in. Take your outer hand, right hand, left hand, and turn it so it's palm face up. We're just going to open up those hands. Avoid dumping into the hand. And then turn it so the palms still up, fingers facing in. And now turn it to the other direction. Come back into center, make a fist with that hand, place it down on the floor. Opposite hand, palm face up, fingertips in. Breathe, opening up the back of the hand. Fingertips away. Still palm face up, fingertips maybe towards the top of the mat. Breathing. Make a fist with that hand as well. Start to walk your knees a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Your hands are in that fist position. Draw the elbows, the eye elbows, I call them, so they're looking at each other. I'm just going to take 1 round of cat-cow here. Let the belly drop and round into the back. Walk your hands forward again. Curl your toes. Set yourself up for your down dog. Remember to push into the knuckles of your hand. Send those sits bones up and back. Roll the shoulders so you're hollowing out the armpits. Start to take that left foot, left heel, and bring it towards the top of the mat. And if it only comes so far, that's fine. Use your hands to help walk it forward. This is your practice, your time to give it a try. Setting up for Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2. So you're going to lower your back right heel down. Check to make sure that your heel of your front foot is in line with the instep of that back foot. I'm going to walk myself forward so you can see. There we go. Back toes are turned in just slightly. Push down into all parts of the feet and then begin to lift yourself up. Draw your hands to your hips. And once again, check in with those feet. The front heel is in line with that instep of the back foot. Take a look at your knee in the front. Is it going in? Is it going out? Or is it going straight forward? Just like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, she had a spot that worked just right for her. So our spot in yoga is always lining up those joints to make sure everything is in the right position. Definitely need to be safe. Keeping your hands on your hips, we're just going to play around with the different placement of your hip bones. Coming into Warrior 2, we have a tendency to send our right glute out to where it doesn't belong. We want to tuck it under, but we also, at the same time, we're opening our thigh up. Here comes another one of my cats. I thought I shut the door, but everyone is finding their way in. They're very persistent. It's lunchtime. So we're taking that back thigh and we're rolling it out using the back edge of your foot, and your knee is forward. Lengthen down. Right left arm forward, right arm back. We are going to hang out here in this Warrior 2 for just a few moments. I have a story that I want to share with you. And we'll finish one half on one side and one half on the other. So as you settle in here and you start to play with the different breath movements of your body, feeling that rib cage expand, feeling your legs nice and strong, that belly drawn in. I'm just going to share this little story with you about a generous and brave warrior. Continue to look forward over that front hand. A long, long time ago, in the land of Spain, there were two kings, a king from the north and a king from the south. They fought in the name of honor. They fought to increase their lands. And over the years, hundreds and hundreds of men died. But still, the kings decided they needed to go to war. But there was one city that lay on the border between the north and the south lands that they coveted. It was the most beautiful city of all. And so they decided to send their best, strongest, bravest warriors, just the two of them, to fight over that city. Continue to keep lengthen your spine. I know those legs are starting to wake up, but you, in this warrior pose, Warrior 2, are just as brave and strong as those warriors. So they decided that they would send the two most strongest warriors. But one warrior from the north said, I have to finish my pilgrimage first, and when I'm done, I will come back and fight for you, my king. And we'll finish the story on the other side. Lengthen the front leg. Nice and tall in this length. Bring your right hand down the outside of your leg and lengthen the top up and over. Side stretch. Deep breath here. And full exhale. Coming back into Warrior 2, we're just passing through it, just to pause. Bring your top arm, your bottom arm on top of that leg, left arm, and right arm comes up to the sky. Draw the belly in, knit your rib cage together. Feel free to stay here or lengthen it up and over your head. Breathing deep. If you feel you need to go a little bit deeper, feel free to bring the left hand down to the bottom. Your choice. Inhale, lengthen up. Cartwheel those hands down and find your down dog. Take a walk with that dog. And walk, step, jump, skip, or hop to meet your hands and your feet together at the top of your mat. Inhale nice and long for a half lift. Hands can come onto those book bricks if you'd like, bringing them in line with those toes. Lengthen out through the crown of the head, slight bend in the knees. Belly is drawn in. Exhale, fold yourself forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold yourself forward. Release your bricks down to the floor. Arms come up, out, and over. Bringing them up overhead, lengthen through your body. Reach for that sky. Palms together, back to heart center. And once again, tap into your breath. Finding your breath. That 4 breath in and 4 out. Again, inhale, lower, mid, upper. Release, upper, mid, and lower. Again, lower, mid, and upper. Release. As we continue, deep breath out. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Planting your hands on the floor, step back into your down dog position. Take that dog for a walk. This time, bring your right foot between your hands. Remember, you can always take hold of the back of your calf to walk your foot forward. Lower down the left heel. Line up your heel with the instep. Toes are slightly turned in. Push down into all parts of the floor. Use your core. Push down into the floor as you lift yourself up into Warrior Two. Bring your hands to your hips. Ask yourself the question, is my knee out over my pinky toe? Is it in, or is it going straight ahead? Find your best Goldilocks position, which is knee pointing ahead. Level out your pelvis. We're not going to the bar. We are just here. Opening that back thigh, it's spinning open. Lift up into the chest. Knit your rib cage together. Belly is strong and activated. Right arm forward, left arm back. As we continue our story. So as we left off, the warrior has gone on a pilgrimage. And he said, yes, I will fight for you for the best in the kingdom. Continue to look over that right shoulder. As the warrior went on his pilgrimage, he came upon a leper. And he felt so much compassion for this person. He decided to invite him for a dinner, for a place to stay. The warrior shared his food. He shared his bed. He shared his company. He was kind and generous. And during that night, as he was sleeping, the warrior heard a soft rustling, the beat of his heart, and a whispering. A soft whispering that said, you were so kind to me, and so I bestow to you a very precious gift. Because you are brave and true, no one shall ever defeat you in battle. Once again, check in with that pelvis, nice and strong through your leg. We're almost there. So as the warrior finished up his pilgrimage, he had this thought, this feeling, this memory of this person that he helped so courageously. He went home, he told his king, yes, I am ready. I am here to be strong and to fight for you, for your land. The two warriors from the north and the south went out to the middle of the field. And as he pulled his sword out, he held it in front of him. And he heard those words again. You were so brave and so true of heart that none shall ever defeat you. And this courageous, this strong and brave warrior defeated the battle, won the city that was so coveted. But the lesson he learned was beyond something he could ever imagine. Lengthen through your leg. Yes, almost there. Go ahead and bend the outside arm, lifting up and over, finding a nice release here. And exhale, come back into your warrior two. Let your arm set and rest on top of that leg. Top arm goes up. Draw your knit your ribs together. If you like, you can extend it overhead. If you want to go a little bit further, let your bottom arm come down. Your choice today. Inhale. I'm going to cartwheel your hands down, coming back into your last down dog. Draw your right leg towards the back. And let yourself come all the way down to the floor, bringing your legs out to the side. Now we get to bring out your scarf that you haven't worn for a while, or tie, or bathrobe that you have been wearing for a while. Lengthen those legs out in front of you. Bring it around ball mounts of your feet. Try to avoid coming into the arch of the feet, but come at the very top, right below the toes. Lengthen up through the crown of the head. Start to walk your hands up your rope. We're going to tilt forward from your pelvis. So draw the shoulders down. Keep your body nice and long and lean in the back. And bring yourself forward. Nice and gentle. Finding your breath. 4 in. Count of 4 out. It's not how far you can go forward. Today it's simply about feeling the release in your lower back. Feeling the release in your knees. Slight bend in those knees. Long spine. Draw your shoulder blades together in the back to open up your collarbone. Elbows are pointing towards the back wall instead of out to the side. One more breath here. And now, if you would like to start to lower yourself down, feel free to curl over, bringing your chin towards your chest. If you have that blanket, once again, you can bring it onto your legs in any fashion, lengthwise or not, and allow yourself to fold forward. You can stack those hands on top of each other to rest your forehead down. Just pausing here for just a moment. And once again, as you stay here in this position, I invite you to explore your breath again. Lower, mid, and upper. Following your breath. Following your release. And bringing back into your mind the mantra that you chose. Continue to stay in that forward fold. Breathing in with I am. Exhaling with whatever your mantra was, whether it was brave, courageous, generous, released. I am. Exhale your mantra. Start to gently walk your hands back up, coming all the way up into a seated position, moving all of your toes to the side except for your blanket. I'm going to set you up for your rest or shavasana. I invite you to stay in it as long as you'd like to. I will get you set up with your positioning, and then I am going to sign off. But that does not mean that your practice has to end. It just simply means that you stay and take as much time as you need for yourself. Bringing your legs on top of the blanket. Bring it so it's right underneath your knees. It's a nice added cushion. Let your feet come as wide as the mat if you would like. Allow yourself to start to melt down or lay down onto the floor. And Shavasana is such a lovely resting, released pose. Once you get there, maybe you draw those shoulder blades, tuck them under your back. Let your palms come down to the floor. Palms face up to end that practice. Close gently into your eyes. Continue to stay there in this position. Bringing yourself back to your breath, back to your mantra, and back to your release. And it has been my pleasure to guide you on your practice today. Once again, I invite you to continue to stay there in this posture. Namaste. Have a blessed day.